Hey everybody, we are logging in. I'm messing with the microphone, probably blowing up your house. My lighting is all crazy today. Don't know why. Well, we'll go with it. If you are logging into the recording, you probably know what you're getting into. But if you do not, you should go to jollyrogerukulele.com. Let's see. And that is where we post all of the information about these daily broadcasts. And it's a place where you can get to be a way better ukulele player than maybe you are already. And we work in a old school tradition of trying to make the best possible music without singing. And we do it every single day, Monday through Friday. And people will be logging in here and telling me whether my sound is any good or not. And as soon as I get the website updated, we'll get started. It's 1 o'clock now. We'll start in about 5 minutes. So if you're actually watching the recording of this, you can fast forward at least 5 minutes, or you can sit and listen to me celebrate the arrival of each of our members. Let's see. All right, I think that's got it. Let me go look and see if it opens up correctly. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. All right. Well, that's that. Let's see. We can close this window, and everybody will start loading in. I don't know why my lighting is all weird. I guess I'm getting used to the other camera at my house, and then this camera, which is not quite as sophisticated as that one, looks a little ruddy by comparison. But anyway, we'll get it close. Hey, yeah, I forgot. I long story short, I forgot my shirt. I'm over at the studio today, and they're putting windows into my bedroom. The windows we had are about 30 years old, and so we got new windows, and they're in there today putting in windows. And so all morning I'm sitting there freaking out, and that they're tearing the place apart. And then when I decided, they're not going to get done before time for me to broadcast, I jumped in the car, ran over here, and I remembered everything except the shirt. So I'm casual. Thanks for noticing, Lynn. Hey, Renee, welcome in. Carol, sound is good. Okay, that's good. Great to see. Hey, fellas, we've been missing you. Was it just yesterday? Did you miss yesterday? I don't know, or did you just not log in? Hey, Gary and Diane, glad you're here. Hey, Diane, part two. It's Friday. I don't. This week has felt long, hasn't it? I don't know. I felt stressed out all week, and I don't. I mean, seriously, what do I have to be stressed out about? I mean, my life is okay, and I'm health. Well, I got gray hair, but outside of that, things are going great. um, so, but anyway, it is Friday. We made it. We'll make casual work of today, and then we will all go um, pour a cold one, as they say. Hey, Vic, welcome in. Evelyn, great to be back. Evelyn has been logging a lot of time. I think Vic and Evelyn both at the same time. You guys are on the same wavelength. That's exciting. Hey, Red, yeah, new windows. Here's how life works, right? We moved into this fancy place down in Denver, and it's not super fancy. It's nice, but it's not super fancy. But it's okay. It's in an old building. And about 30 years ago, somebody who took two apartments and combined them together and did all this pretty nice remodeling in there. So my house is absolutely beautiful. I mean, like out of this world beautiful if it's 1983. But it's not 1983 anymore. And so we're in the process of starting that, making it look, I don't know, we're probably going to make it look like gray like everyone else is making their houses look now. But we're starting with some of the more one-off type repairs in the house and replacing the windows. The windows that are in there were the best windows they could get in 1978 or something like that. They were top of the line for 1978, and now, I mean, they don't even close right anymore and all this stuff. So we're getting new windows put in. Certainly not top of the line, but they're going to be pretty nice. And so those guys are in my house right now. And we're on the 11th floor, so there's only one company in town that works any on windows above the 4th floor, and so that's who you get. These are the guys, and they seem like really good guys, but so hopefully they'll do a good job for us. And so they're over tearing my house apart. When I left, there was no windows in it at all, so you could jump out the window if you felt the need to. So, hey Terry, welcome in. To Annie, welcome in. Good to see you. Sandy is also in. Sandy, I've been keeping an eye on the map and the weather and all, and so everybody's like, all right, so Midwest going okay. Don't need to worry about those guys. Californians, oh my gosh, the whole place burned down. I don't got to worry about those guys. Last week I was worried about Kat down in Texarkana. She got rained on. Let's see, Lino out in New Jersey at one point was getting had a hurricane coming at her. I'm just worried about all of you guys all of the time now. I should just turn off the weather. I got gray hair, so I watch the weather all the time. Megan, my niece, who's in 20, she says, you don't need to watch the weather anymore. It's on your phone. You can just check your phone. And I'm like, that is a typical Generation Z response. Oh, goodness. So I'm having one of our local members come and pick up this ukulele. Isn't it lovely? She bought it about a year ago, and we just put strings on it. It was making a buzz, but I think the buzz is gone. I think we're changing the strings and tightening everything up. And you guys probably, it's not a bad discussion to have from time to time. If your ukulele has a weird buzz in it, or there's something's driving you nuts. Sometimes you got a bad ukulele, but not often. A lot of times, just tightening up what you can on your tuners will get rid of a buzz. And then this one has closed tuners on it. By the way, if you have closed tuners and they have this white thing on them, that white thing comes off. You can take those are there to protect it till you buy it. But it's so cute. I see nobody ever takes these white things off, but you can. It looks nicer. So you can take those off, and your closed box tuners will look a lot prettier. But sometimes if you have the open ones, and some of those nuts and screws and bolts and what have you on the back here can get a little loose, you want to treat it gingerly on the back, because if you tighten it too much, then it's hard to tune. But you can just take a screwdriver and tighten those up, and you'll get rid of buzzes sometimes. Like I say, sometimes the buzz comes from the screws that are on the top of here. Not all of you have a screw on top of here. This particular type of tuner does. The other place you get buzzes a lot of times is if this is not centered correctly, so just double check that. Also, your nut can come loose. That's always a joke, right? Your nut can come loose, and you take just a teeny tiny bit of Elmer's glue and bolt and glue that back in. If this gets loose, it'll kind of move around, has a tendency to rattle a little bit. The other rattles come from inside of your ukulele, and those you probably want to take to somebody who knows what they're doing. They got to get in there and put a little bit of Elmer's or epoxy or something in there. Sometimes you cannot find a rattle. I have a guitar that I cannot find a rattle. I don't know where the heck the dang rattle is, and I'm a pro. I know what I'm looking for. I cannot find a rattle in this thing at all. So basically, I'm just putting it on a shelf, and it's going to learn. The rattle's going to go away just by time, is my opinion on that. Who knows? So let's see. Who else logged in while I was yapping? Fran came in. Hey, am I correct in assuming that the duets for ukulele orchestra for ukulele are separate from the dues for Jolly Ride? No, you are incorrect, Fran. If you are a subscriber right now, you are good. You're going to be fine. On Monday, I'm going to talk about that. I am going to send out an email reminding people about that. And I know for some of you that I don't like that. This is part of being on this planet that I hate is capitalism. But I am going to ask that the ukulele orchestra members on Monday night be members of this website. And so if you're already a member on this website, you are fine. If you are not yet, I want you to think about it. It's $5 for the first week to check it out, make sure that you're fine, that everything's cool, and then it's $25 a quarter after that. And I noticed a few of those of you guys that were early adopters that were testing out the memberships thing. Some of you are having renewals come up. I really do appreciate the fact that you're supporting me and supporting the the stuff we're doing here. It's $25 a quarter. That works out to about $2 a week. And I do appreciate that. And I really, really, really wish that I didn't have to charge anything. But um, uh, I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm supposed to. So also, a lot that money goes. It turns out this website it takes a lot of horsepower for it to run properly, and so it is surprisingly expensive to do that. And and hopefully, I'm giving you $2 a week worth of value. That's my hope. So if you are already a member of this website, you will not need to buy anything additional. If you aren't yet, please check it out. Just go to the subscribe page and read about what's going on. I updated it the other day just to make sure it's as correct as I can possibly get it. And I will send out an email to you guys who are not explaining that situation. And also, I know a handful of you are against PayPal for whatever reason. I think there's just this, you feel like it's this slippery slope into becoming a millennial. PayPal's, I've been using it for since they invented it. It was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It was one of those early things. I've been using it since day one. I've never, ever, ever, ever had any issue with that. Well, I've never even needed to call them for support or any of that stuff. So it's a really solid website. Your money's safe there, and you don't really even need to put your money in there. You can, if you don't trust them with having a little bit of money in your account there, you can definitely pay with credit card. And as you know, with a credit card, if it comes through and it's weird, you can dispute the charge. If it's a debit card, then it goes straight out of your account, and that's not necessarily as good. Yeah, so I will explain all of this more thoroughly on an email to you guys this weekend. But the first week, this coming Monday, everybody can join in. It's perfectly fine. But after that, I am going to ask that you be a member of the site. I think it's just one more thing that members can get, one more value added type situation where, hey, I'm a member. I get to be part of the orchestra. I'm learning how a new way to play that we don't generally talk about during the week. And so, yeah. So that's as thorough as I can be right at the moment. So yeah, and I do get it that this is a crazy time. Some of you are either out of work or you are worried about finances and stuff. And I do, if that's the situation, send me an email and I'll see what I can do for you. It's a little bit of a pain for me to have to go in and deal with that membership page, person by person. And so I really don't want to have to do that. But if you're in a situation where, hey, I really, really need to be a member of this site, but I really, really can't afford it, please don't hesitate to drop me a line. I'm more than happy to work with you on that. Unlike we have the orchestra account here, it's a nonprofit and all that. That's a separate deal for you guys that are here locally. But for the stuff I do on this Jolly Roger website, it is just me and trying to figure out all of the technology all of the time. So the less weird stuff I have to deal with the website, the more music that I can stay focused in on writing. So that's what I'm hoping that I just sign up for a membership. It's less than a latte a week. How about that? All right, let's see who else logged in real quick, and then we'll get playing. Amy, welcome in. Pauline, welcome in. Pauline, I heard Pauline, you're in the Bay Area, right? I heard the Bay Area has got crazy stuff going on there. Let's see, Sandy. Good, all good up here. It's fall already up in northern Michigan. It's fall. Oh my gosh. We are having the opposite here. We are having dead solid summer here in Colorado. So red hot, you caused the buzz. Yeah, this cute. Let's see, Gary. I had to reroute a wire from my pickup to get rid of the buzz. I had to reroute a wire. Oh, yeah. Sometimes if you got electronics on there, there's a whole nother group of things that will screw up in your ukulele. So if you have one that you're supposed to plug in, the nuts and stuff come loose on that stuff all of the time. Like if you have one of those digital tuners that's built into your ukulele, you thought that was a cool thing. It's not going to be a cool thing because those things are usually super cheap and they fall apart and they don't work and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, at the time, it seemed like a really great idea. So those do also have a tendency to rattle. Clay, hello from Sonoma. Governor reports 350. Yeah, 350 fires in California. 350. Can you imagine? I don't even know if they have that many firefighters. That's crazy. That's just crazy. It's so scary out there. Hope you guys are staying safe. A cat is in finally. Now we can get started. The price is very, very. I don't think you'll hear anyone. Yeah. So. Thank you, Fran. I appreciate that. Carol, what Fran said. All right. Yay, Fran. Nancy, welcome in from Florida. Florida has been in the news a lot lately. Nancy, I hope you're staying safe. Q is in. What is the brand of strings I recommend is Savarez. Savarez. That's these guys. Okay, they come either in tenor or concert length. You can get them on Amazon. I think they're $15. And these are these. This is what you want. And if you've never changed your own strings, buy these and then go to the guitar shop to have them change them. At the guitar shop, they'll put on junk, and you don't want that. So go buy those and then take those to the guitar guy that's going to change your strings, unless you're going to do it yourself, obviously, and make them put those on. I've tried every brand of string out there, every brand, I'm pretty sure, and those are what I would consider top of the line. So let's see. Valerie, so sorry to be late. We were just in. Valerie. Valerie has sold her house. She's in the process of moving. Now she's been in an accident. Last week she was in, and there was a tornado that went over her house. I don't know what Valerie did, but Karma's out to get her. So Valerie, we're going to send you our love. Seriously, we'll send you a little bit of ukulele positive energy. Oh no, Martin works too, right? Martins are good. Yeah, Martins are very good. And again, I just so those of you guys who've missed this conversation in the past, I like Martin. I do put Martin strings on people's ukuleles all the time. I just don't advertise or carry them because they have. They've done some really stupid, wonky things with their retail rules, and the strings they sell me as a dealer cost more than the exact same strings you can buy at Amazon for less. And so if they're going to do that, I just, why am I carrying them? Why do I support them? So while I own a Martin guitar and I've been a Martin fan my whole life, I just I don't carry them as a sales item here because it's if they're going to sell them cheaper on Amazon, what's the point? So get them from Amazon. But they're fine. They're absolutely great strings. Yes. Friend, we don't get any fall in the. Oh yeah, right. I was in New York one time back when I was much younger, and it's in the winter into the summer. And here's how it worked: it was freezing, colder than I had ever been in my life for 4 months, and then there was one day of spring, and then it was hotter than I've ever been in my entire life. So that's how the weather works out east. All right, guys, let's play some music. Let's play. Let's start with. Oh, I didn't put your etudes on here. Let's not do any etudes today. Let's start with After the Ball. This fall we'll do every Friday. We'll include one of the etudes just to keep you on your toes and keep you honest. So we'll start with After the Ball today. While you're pulling that out, wanted to mention Troy Murray. I spent the entire day this morning working on that. I am now so close to being finished. I am positively thrilled with the way it's coming out. I will say at the end of the day, the tough uke part may be the toughest tough uke I've ever had to put together. But I have tried to capture note for note exactly what Schumann put into the original. And obviously there's a lot of inversions and a lot of stuff that I had to do, but I'm down to having to only have a half a measure that I've had to lower the octave. And it actually flows in and flows out just fine. So sometime over the weekend, I will post the final version of Troy Murray, and it's going to be worth playing, especially those of you guys that are really looking for a challenge. It has really, really been a delight to finish putting that together today. So I was hoping to have it finished by the time here, but I'm comparing note for note from the original to what I'm able to put onto the ukulele, and it's getting pretty darn close. So it's exciting. All right. After the Ball is number one hit from 1891. Let's make it the number one hit in what is today? 2020. What year is it? All right, from the top. Again, if you are newer, playing your chords is great. It's 3 beats. Okay, you got a B flat in there. Go back to your F and so on. So we play it that way. If you are still working on getting comfy with reading the tablature, play one note at a time. 2, 3, 2, 3. Remember to count your half notes, count those long notes because you will come in too early. I'm going to play the tough uke. We'll play it twice through. Let me get my little foot thing going. And I don't think there's anything particularly challenging in this that you haven't seen before. We do have that the Renee chord as to wrap up, so that's a bar on 5 with your pinky on 8. That's the chord that we wrap up with. And there's one other place, yeah, measure 22 has a bar on 2 with your pinky on 5. Switch it out to the 3. Okay, so that's the other couple of bar chords in there, but outside of that, not too bad. And what happens when you play a crummy bar chord? You just keep going. You meant to play it that way. Have a sense of attitude about it. Like, yeah, that's how I play that crummy bar chord. So we'll twice through. 1, 2, 3. To the top. Second ending. That's a lovely tune. I agree. That should have been the #1 song in 1891. Beautiful, beautiful melody. Not terribly brutal chords, right? So hopefully that's coming out of your ukulele, just dancing out and just filling up your room with joy and happiness. It's a very sad song, by the way. Everybody, the narrator was left alone and sad. So it's a lot prettier tune than you would think. All right, let's go to Itsy Bitsy Spider. If I will ever learn how to alphabetize, that's one of my goals in life is to learn to alphabetize. Itsy Bitsy Spider. And remember, we talked with this one about there's just 2 chords. It's set up for, we think of it as a kid's song. And if you were going to teach like little kids and you want to sing a song, they can do the little hand gestures, and it's only two chords, G and D7, so it's very pleasant to play. Notice when on ukulele, when you've got this G chord, that its best friend is hanging out right there. That's not an accident. This is tuned in a specific way to make most of the regular everyday chords easy to get to, and so there's that going on. Okay, and so if you got little kids, don't try to teach them ukulele. That's crazy. Just get them singing, get them, dancing to the beat and that sort of stuff. But along about 7, 8, somewhere in there, you can start teaching them how to play melody. I always hold off with little kids. I don't have them do chords at all. I just have them pluck out the melodies, and learn how to read tablature. They got to be old enough to know how to read. That's always a question. Like different kids come into that at different speeds, and so if they're fighting the reading part of it, then you don't want to teach them that. They're just not ready for it yet. But once they're reading and they know their numbers and they you can teach them one note at a time. And honestly, as you guys have probably figured out for yourself, once you're able to play one note at a time, what happens is as you're busy playing, your fingers start ending up in the chord shapes accidentally because you're working going from that shape to this one and this one. Oh, that was a G chord, and it's just accidental that you find your chords by playing melody. And so, and then of course, I've only taught one little girl who was 7 who got all the way fully blown chord melody, could knock out anything. She had these little teeny tiny hands and this little teeny tiny soprano ukulele, but she could do it. Now, I would say she's a little bit exceptional in that regard. So if you got 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, it's a little bit of a question whether they're going to be able to play full chord melody. All 10-year-olds should be fine doing that. So if you know somebody in that group that you're thinking about teaching some, be mindful that not just because it's small, it's not necessarily for kids, right? All right, from the top, it's twice through. I just have that one typo at measure 17. I'm showing a 0 on the 4th string. Should be a 3 on the 2nd string. It's the same note. It's just bad arranging is what's going on there. It's Gary not paying attention. Okay, from the top, I'm going to count in 2, and then we're going to go. 1, 2, 2. How'd we do? If you're playing the chord, you're probably fine. If you're playing the melody, you're probably fine. If you're playing tough ukas, you think, it's got to be easy. That's a lot of work there. There's plenty of places to trip up on that. So, super fun song, nice melody. Anytime you get a song about a spider, it's awesome. Elizabeth, I don't know if she's logged in today, wrote a song last year about Wild Harry, about the tarantula. We have a tarantula migration in southern Colorado where all these tarantulas all come out and they move farther south. I mean, it seems like a very inefficient system, but that's apparently what they've come up with, these tarantulas. And all songs about spiders are good. Let's go to Brahms Lullaby. And that was our Brahms of the week. I do owe you another Brahms, and so that'll be coming down the road somewhere. A couple of Brahms that I did were not, I don't know, they weren't inspiring me the way I thought they would, and so I moved on to Franz Liszt, so which I will also be getting you, and then I still owe you Strauss. So just know we got more Dead White Guy weeks coming up, and don't think that because I gypped you a little bit this week that I'm going to gyp you forever. Okay, so all that stuff is in the pipeline. Especially the Strauss piece. I'm so excited to do 2001: A Space Odyssey. Really excited about that. Okay, let's do Brahms Lullaby. Again, we're in three. For better or for worse, this one's in the key of C, right? You've got your C chord, your F chord, and your G7 chord. This is usually a day, usually the third night in my local class here. We dig into this one pretty seriously. At this point, you know, they're hopefully playing or understanding tough uke a little bit. And you guys, of course, have been around a long time. You guys are doing fine with it. So from the top, I'm going to count in 2. We're going to go. We'll play it through twice. 1, 2. Lovely. All right. Good. I like that tune. Okay. Brahms knew what he was doing. Let's go play I've Been Working on the Road next up. Laurel walks in. Weekend! I agree, Laurel. The problem with the current state of things in our world is that every day feels like either Monday or Saturday right now. I can't tell what it is. Um, we were having a board meeting with our condo people last night, and I think all of us were like, it seems like our meeting was either last week or the previous meeting was either last week or 6 months ago. We're like looking at the paper going, this looks oddly familiar but really foreign at the same time. So it's crazy times we're living in. Nothing makes any sense anymore. um, Remember, I've been working on the railroad. This is brand new this week. This is the first part of this I've been playing and teaching for years, and then Deb says, "Why? Where's the last half of it?" So she actually hand wrote out how to play the last half of it, and so I went ahead and added in the last half. So it's 3 pages long now, which is ridiculous. But so hopefully you can get all 3 pages set up there in front of you somehow. And remember, it gets a little bit challenging down there. Fiddly-I-O, you're way up here on measure or fret 9. Okay, you're gonna with that F shape on 9. So just remember that's headed your way. Also, you're gonna have this E chord, bar on 4, pinky on 7. Okay, and then it goes to a bar on 4 with the pinky or middle finger on 5. Okay, so it's E chord goes to E7 chord. And so that's going to come up and you're going to be like, what in the world is going on here? This seems like too much work. Also note measure 44, the very last measure, just about the time you think this song can't get any harder. You are going to be on measure 44. You're going to have a bar on 7 This is going to be on 8, so that's the E7. But then the melody note's on 9, and then the melody note after that is 11. Okay, so just know the bass chord or the bass idea is this bar on 7, middle on 5. And then 9 and 12. Okay, so that's also an A chord, by the way. Okay, so you got plenty of stuff in this thing. Those of you guys that are, looking for a challenge, those two things will jump up at you. I don't think there's anything else that will ruin your life, but that last page has plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Okay, let's go from the top. I'm going to count in 4, and then we're not going to go too fast, knowing that those scary things are waiting for us at the end of the song. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was right to warn you about measures 43, 44, and 45, huh? Right? They aren't hard to do if you've been around a while and your bar chords are going okay, right? Just remember you got the E chord, bar, and it's really the Renee chord in the wrong spot, right? And you just slide up to 7, put this on like your 7th chord, add your ring finger, and add the 11, and then slide up to 9 and move this to 12. Again, just the Renee chord, but it's up here on 9. Okay. So that ending is pretty intense for an instrumental ukulele player. If you're a singer, it's strumming on the old banjo, right? This is why we do what we do, okay? We want to make things far more difficult than they need to be. All right, that's what I think. That's why we. Is that why we do what we do? I think so. All right, let's play Skater's Waltz. Let's get a little Waldtuffel in our lives. R-S-T-S-S. O-P-Q-K, skater. There it is. Waldtuffel, maybe. Let's not get that started. Troy Marai just about killed us, so let's not deal with how we pronounce Waldtuffel. Remember, okay, you've got this big old mean chord, 9, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so it's just, we've done this a million times. Bar on whatever, and in this case it's 9, and then the F shape in front, that's 10 and 11. Okay, so that comes up. Also remember, you want that first pulse and every single measure to be much louder, much more aggressive. Pa, 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 pa. In Germany, the polka is I don't know if it's still that way. It certainly was when we visited Munich and went to. We weren't there in October, but we did go to the place, right, for Oktoberfest. And yeah, they do have an accordion band playing polkas in there. And so just be mindful that you want to make that pa pa sound, that very heavy sound, and then a couple of lighter sounds. Also, remember, we're going to play through this thing twice. And then the last time around, when you get to the very end, we got the world famous bar on 2, pinky on 5. Okay, that's how we'll wrap it up. I don't think there's really anything else for us to talk about, so I'll try to go slow, right? This is meant to be fairly quick, and it's meant to be fairly jaunty, I would say. But if we play at about 80, it gives you a chance to get everything right, and it should sound pretty nice. Okay, from the top. And remember, right? Staccato. 1, 2, 3. 7, 6, 7, 7. Page 2, my page turner didn't go. Ready and go. Go back to the top, ready and play. nice. That's a tough song. Hopefully, you're doing well with it. I can tell you what's fascinating to me is since the minute I wrote it, 7 7 6 or 7 6 7 7, right? That's that one, right? That should be just like bonk, blunk. Should be fairly easy to put on, but I'm fighting it, right? So maybe you're fighting it too. The way I'm thinking of it is I got to get a G7 on up above here, right? So this is the G7 shape, but I got to get it on 6 and 7 7, and then add my ring finger. Should be fairly straightforward process, but it's not. And so if I were going to make this song a presentation piece, something that I was going to play for other people, I can tell you I would work on 7 6 7 1, and then immediately getting to that B minor. That's a lot. That's a lot of instrumental gymnastics to get that on quickly and correctly. And so I'm failing at it. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're like, what are you doing, Gary? Keep up the pace. What's the heck are you doing? But anyway, you're stuck with me as your timer, right? All right. What time is it? Oh, we're in good shape. This little light of mine. Let's wrap it up with this piece. Here's what you know when you got a great song, it fits on one page, it's got jazz chords in it, and everything in life is perfect. This means that if we can get this song knocked out, we are in tall cotton, right? We are doing everything perfect in our lives. And the weird thing that us hanging out on YouTube, playing YouTube, or playing ukulele on YouTube is all for something. Okay, so here we are. Um, Renee says, "I need more practice." Renee, so do I. Okay, that's. I don't think you should ever judge yourself on how well you're playing right now. Right? I don't. I think that's. There's two things I think we do as newer musicians that are just death. One, comparing yourself to others. Okay, there's I remember years ago, we were living in Santa Fe. We lived there for a year and a half. We should never have left. We should first I lived in Boulder, should never have left there. Then we lived in Santa Fe, should never have left there. Then we lived in then every now and then when you're a young person you're like, oh, I got lucky, I should just do this, and then but you don't, and you end up anyway, we were living in Santa Fe. We were going to join the gym. We went to the gym and we were signing up, and there was this guy. It was the gym guy. You should join the gym, and and I remember saying something stupid along the lines of, well, I won't be able to beat anybody up here or something. And he goes, there's always somebody who's going to be better than you. There's always somebody who can beat you up, and it doesn't matter who you are, right? I mean, and he was very serious about it, like, oh, don't worry, even I can get beat up, kind of thing. And I think that's also true as musicians. There's always somebody better than you. There's always somebody better than you. There's about four guys who are the best at whatever, right? With this instrument, I know of three who can play at the top level like that. Nobody would mess with them, and all three of them are quite different players. And I bet each one of them doesn't try to be the other one, right? They're just amazing, beautiful. The stuff that comes out of ukulele is like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But if you compare yourself to them, you're just going to fail by comparison. And so let's whatever. The second thing we do is we just start beating ourselves up about the fact that we can't play something in a certain way at a certain time. I can't play the way I want to play. You probably can't play the way you want to play. None of us can play the way we want to play. If we dwell on that, it's not going to do us a bit of good. It's just going to make us sad, right? So just be glad you're sitting in a ukulele class right now, staring at some pretty sophisticated music, and probably at least understanding it, right? Maybe being able to play a little bit of it, and that should be enough for right now, right? And you're going to be 6 months from now, you won't believe how much better you are than today. I'll pick on whoever over here, right? Trying to think who's worth picking on. It doesn't matter, but I worked with people who were frankly couldn't play a lick when they showed up, and give them a ton of positive energy. And a few months later, they're playing pretty well. A few years later, they're playing better than me. And it's just like, you just don't know. You keep working on it. You're hoping that these fingers will do the right thing on a certain day. Until then, enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, because it is definitely can demoralize you at some point because you just can't be what you want to be at that moment. So just make sure you're kind to yourself when it comes to practicing. let's see. Q. When I have a song over one page, three whole bunch sides, so I can turn page one. Yeah. Q's idea here, and it's something I'm going to start. We'll talk about more in orchestra. Is how do you be orchestra ready? That's actually a surprisingly complicated thing to set your book up properly. And so, very rarely when I'm printing out sheet music do I print it out double sided. If I'm going to be playing it, I want it to be able to lay open flat like this. And so if you print out double sided, you got to print out the first page separate, and then two through whatever can be double sided, right? But that first page has to be separate because it lays open this way. So in my book, when I'm flipping through pages trying to find a song, all of the front pages are blank, right? And so I handwrite on there, this is this little light of mine or whatever. And then you open it up and then both pages are facing each other. So hopefully you figured out that all of the odd pages have to be punched on the right side and the even pages are punched on the left side. And that way they lay out like this. And so, and I do also, guys, when I can, as I'm working on sheet music, I do really try to think about where your page breaks are. I can't always get it perfect. Sometimes it's just a misery. Like on that last song, the fact that we're going from the 7 6 7 7 to a B minor with a 5 on it. I mean, I just can't necessarily always solve that problem, but I do think about that as I'm laying out a piece of paper. What's that page breaks going to look like? And so just be thoughtful as you're putting your book together. Hey, I want to get as much music in front of me, and then I want to turn a page, and I'd like to have two more pages in front of me. That's ideal if you can work out. It doesn't always work out, but a lot of times it will. So, um, let's see. Cute critter, critter is in at 151. That's perfect timing. Writing the name on the backside is a great suggestion. Yeah, now you're going through the book and there's a blank page and you got to go like, what is this? Right? Just handwrite on whatever the song is on the other side of the paper. And Jennifer likes my version. Okay, see, I told you. And Jennifer knows what she's doing. Jennifer knows music. Jennifer knows that I don't know what I'm doing. That's how much music she knows. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's play this little light of mine as our preparation for the weekend. Um, I don't think I have anything smart to say about that. Okay, from the top, we're going to count in 4. We're not going to go fast. Make it beautiful, make it sweet. If you're not ready for the tough uke, play the melody. If you're not ready for the melody, you probably aren't ready for those chords either. So play melody, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And go. Two, 3, 4. Like I say, Once in a while, I hit a home run. That's a home run. Um, all right, guys, we made it to Friday. Hopefully, you learned something this week. Hopefully, you're having a great time playing ukulele. I am having a delightful time doing this. This has been since March, we've done exactly more or less the same thing until today. And so, starting next week, we expanded the program a little bit. You guys have inspired me just to keep going and doing a little bit more. So, next week, remember, I mean, this is my time, Mountain Daylight time. You'll adjust it for wherever you are. 11 o'clock, harmonica. It'll be silly, right? We're not going to take harmonica seriously. We'll take it a little seriously. You'll learn to read sheet music. That's one thing. 12 o'clock, the little bit easier stuff, right? They will restart the intro stuff. So come if you're still in that phase of just needing to get more comfortable with the ukulele and how we do melody and chords and then combine them and all that stuff. We'll start with Frere Jacques and build all the way back up to Scarborough Fair. And then for you guys in this time slot, we're going to do Italian music. Plus, we're going to pull over a bunch of stuff that we worked on this week. So make sure you don't just throw that stuff out, right? We're going to start having everything carry over from the previous week into the next week so that you get a chance to really dig into these songs and get good at them. And then after this time slot, and then I say we're doing Italian music. Yes, it's going to be awesome. I love it. And then baritone. After that, we're going to start at base level of baritone. We're going to do that in the 2 o'clock hour, and then the 3 o'clock hour is guitar. So it'll be 5 hours straight of me teaching. You know what the heck? It'll be fun. By the time I get to the end of the day, I'll be brilliant, right? So that's it. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Please stay safe. It's crazy out there, and I will hopefully see all of you on Monday in one way or another. Also, Monday nights we'll start doing orchestra, and I'll send you guys out an email this weekend. It's either Saturday or Sunday for sure. You'll get an email if you're on the email list. So just make sure Jolly Roger Ukulele, you put in your email address there, so that you'll get an email. If you're not getting the email, send me an email and I'll double check you're on the list. If you're on the list, it's something to do on your end. That's one thing I know. The email servers treat me. Some of them think I'm spam. Can you believe that? Crazy. They should say ukulele, and they should be like, "Yeah, that's absolutely important information." Yeah, so if I'm being treated as spam, you'll have to work with your server, your email system to get it stopped and let it accept me as not spam. So, and by the way, if you're sick of receiving it, now you're not here to hear that. I try to take off people who don't want this thing so they don't treat us as spam. So we'll see if that helps, but it doesn't always help. So anyway, blah, 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 blah. You'll get an email this weekend. I'll see you Monday, and have a great weekend. Let's see. Jennifer, me too. After school. Oh, after school, Jennifer. That's right. You got to log in a little bit late for that. Diane, see you Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. Evelyn, I will say have a wonderful weekend to you, Jennifer. There is light, you guys. It's just a dark time, right? There's going to be light down the road. That's funny. Yes, there is light. There is light. There is, right? We just have the lights turned off right now. Um, um, Lynn, good to see you. Pauline, enjoy your weekend. All you guys out in California, please be safe. Holy Moses. If it's anywhere in the neighborhood, just get in your car and get out. You can come to hang out in Denver, right? It's smoky here too, but you're not going to catch on fire. So that's the good news. Nancy, see you Monday. Have a great weekend. Clay, be good. Argentina, have a nice weekend. Thank you. You are welcome, you noob. So delighted every time you log in. So exciting. Where did I miss? I scrolled up too far. Amy, have a great weekend. Carol, good to see you. Have a wonderful weekend. You'll be there for harmonica classes. You'll have to be a harmonica noob on that day, right? Jennifer. Jennifer, 2 p.m. my time. I think that's 3 p.m. your time. I think Illinois, right? I think it should be 3 p.m. your time. So that's so just make sure that's clear. Join the area manager. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Uke. Appreciate it. Thank you, Gary. Have a little. I've loved everything. Awesome. That's exciting, Kat. Thank you for being here always. You've been long term digging in here. That's exciting. Renee, I'll see you after the weekend. I don't go anywhere. I'm safe. Patty, have a great weekend. Sandy, have a great weekend. Phyllis, have a great weekend. Hope it starts soon. Nice and warm. Yeah, see, we want it the opposite of what you want, Phyllis. We'd like it to cool down a little bit. Yeah, my budget covered this one. Yay! Good, exciting, right? Getting our budgets covered. That's really that's our whole plan in life. Especially as musicians, you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay rent this month. Right. Rent first, music second. Let's make sure that's clear. Red, have a wonderful week. I'm the second best. You're the best. Critter, good to see you, dude. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Get in here on time. I'll see you Monday night then. Terry, good to see you, buddy. Be good. Annie, nice to see you. Valerie, just what I needed today. Yeah, Valerie, goodness sakes, we're sending you some uke positive energy to get you out of having such a crummy time. All right, Jennifer, good. 3 o'clock for you. I appreciate the work you're doing. Thanks, Terry. Appreciate it. Really nice of you. And all right, guys, everybody be good. I'm going to hit the end of the stream. Have a wonderful week. It was a great week, and I will see you guys on Monday.